Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Things You Missed video for the biggest episode of The Walking Dead of all time. That is for the Season 7 premiere, The Day Will Come When You Won't Be. As such, if you guys have not seen the premiere episode for Season 7 yet, you definitely are going to want to watch it before you watch this kind of breakdown video. Also did my review, it's in the channel, reaction video to it, also in the channel, and predictions for Episode 2, what I think is going to happen, also in the channel for you guys to check out. Now, the first one on the list may be something you missed. This actually is outside of the episode, but it's very related to the episode. And that is that the weekend of the premiere, there was actually a leak online. I'm assuming this was probably intentional, which hit about Friday, Saturday, roughly, and actually featured an alternate death scene, an alternative death scene, another version, if you will, of the death sequence, in which instead of like the official version with having both Glenn and Abraham being killed, this other version actually showed Maggie being killed, and it is a pretty brutal, I almost want to say it's probably even more brutal than the either of the other two deaths. You have Glenn, Stephen Yeun, he shouts out for her, blood comes pouring out of her mouth, and it is it's pretty brutal. You can find it online if you're interested. I imagine eventually it'll probably make its way to the Blu-ray DVD, but I just can't help but think it was intentional by AMC to kind of sway us or make us think that they were going to go a different direction, and that Maggie was actually going to be the one who was going to be killed off. A lot of people were fooled. I saw the comments. People were convinced after seeing this clip that Maggie was going to be the one getting Lucille'd. Luckily, it wasn't the case in the final version, the released version, but it stirred up the controversy, and it was pretty crazy to see online. Man. Next, we had the peace symbol that was thrown up by Abraham to Sasha. A lot of people caught this one, but thought I would just comment on it anyways. Really, really cool that they threw that in. I thought it was a nice touch, and I really felt like Abraham did go out like a champ. Even Negan, I think, was impressed by his final words. He doesn't really cry. He doesn't really break down. He doesn't plead. He takes it like a champ, and he tells him to suck his nutsack while he's at it. I love it. And throws a peace sign to his girlfriend. Oh, man, what a dawn. Pretty sick, for sure. The next one is still a topic for debate. You've got people arguing to what they heard, what they think Glenn said with his last words. My interpretation of it was the first time that he says Maggie like that, because of course he can barely get the words out. And then there's some other kind of muttering afterwards. I've listened to it quite a few times. It doesn't sound like anything to me. It just sounds like he's trying to say Maggie maybe a second time, but it's not coming out. Some people think they hear him say, Maggie, I'll follow you, or something like that, or, kind of some kind of idea like we'll still be together, or, in the afterlife, this kind of thing. It's pretty brutal. I mean, I think that right there is the most brutal scene in the entire series. To me, and based on the comic book version as well, too, in issue 100, he just simply says, Maggie. You can barely get it out. And they translated that, they adapted that to the TV series pretty much verbatim. So it's up to you guys. You can write your comments below. What do you think that he says? To me, I just think he says Maggie, and then he maybe goes to repeat it once more. Man, that is quite the horrific scene for sure. My God. The next one comes from the dream wish fulfillment sequence, which is where you have at the end of the table probably the saddest scene, I think, in all The Walking Dead. Definitely one of them. Could probably rival Beth coming out of the hospital in Daryl's arms. Very, very sad sequence. When you see at the end of the table, you've got Glenn. He's got Baby. And, of course, from Maggie. Maggie's over there as well, too. And then you've got Abraham at the end of the table. And you also have Sasha, who a lot of people think that it looks like she is pregnant. So, kind of part of their dream, kind of part of what they wanted and how they thought things were going to go, maybe after No Way Out, before they started kind of finding out more about Negan, the Saviors, and what they were really dealing with. It's definitely sad. I think it adds to it because, of course, now there's no way that's going to be possible. But you guys can write your comments below what thing about this one as well too. Sasha being pregnant in the dream wish fulfillment sequence. This one, which I guarantee a lot of people did miss because it's kind of in the background, as the saviors are walking away, you have one savior who stops and uses a camera to take a Polaroid to take a picture of Glenn's just battered corpse, really brutal, kind of behind Rick. That's pretty messed up, but we have seen before saviors with pictures of that, and I always felt like it was foreshadowing once Glenn saw the pictures when they were in the compound that the first group of Negan's saviors that they went after were. You had Glenn who saw the Polaroids on the wall, and I always felt that was foreshadowing that we would see something like that later on with him. And as we did, one of the saviors actually takes a picture of him in that state, just like he saw at that compound. This one is a pretty cool parallel between the scene where you have Negan, Rick, and Carl, and you have Negan forcing Rick to cut off Carl's arm. Brutal sequence, brutal scene, and one of the most intense of the entire series, I want to say, because whether or not he's going to do it and whether or not Negan is being serious and is going to force him to is, it's pretty intense. But this actually parallels one of the stories from the Bible, the Hebrew Bible. You have God who actually commands Abraham to offer his own son, Isaac, as a sacrifice. After Isaac is bound to an altar, the angel of God stops Abraham at the last minute saying, "Now I know you fear God." This is the same kind of thing that happens with Negan, and when he looks at Rick's face and he sees that Rick fears him, Negan is God. Or at least with regards to their situation right now, he certainly is. Next relates to the actual title of the episode, which I've already done a video on with you guys, subscribers. If you're new to the channel and to this video, you can join us. Bottom left, just click that to subscribe to get all future videos, insight, and everything, and all the discussion that we get into for Walking Dead. But yeah, it was really cool to see the actual episode play out now, and you can really understand why they chose that for a title for the episode. I did think it was really good. This relates back to the conversation that Rick had in Season 1 at the CDC with Dr. Jenner, when he basically thanks Dr. Jenner for the chance. He thanks him for letting them go instead of forcing them to opt out, like he is choosing to opt out and commit suicide. And Dr. Jenner tells him, the day will come when you won't be. So the day will come when you won't be thankful for me giving you this chance. And after seeing the episode from Rick's perspective, I think that's pretty brilliant, to be honest, the way they use the title, how it relates to Rick, us as the viewer, us being in his shoes throughout the episode, and really makes you feel for it and makes you understand the day will come when you won't be, yeah, for sure. This is probably one of Rick's worst days, for sure, right up there with the death of Lori, definitely. And for now, that's all I got for things you may have missed. If you guys noticed any other kind of cool Easter eggs or anything, things that we may have missed, please write them in the comments below. And other people, if you see any good ones, thumb them up. This is a really dense episode. There's lots of stuff in it. So I'm sure there's other things that you guys can find or point out. Very cool. Keep sending me your questions for the Q&As for this week, guys. Got lots of videos lined up, lots of ideas. So we're going to make tons this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And wow, what a crazy premiere, man. I don't even know what to say. Craziest premiere ever, for sure. If you guys like this video, please do not forget, thumb that video the hell up. Please, dudes, thumb it up. If you're new, subscribe. And yeah, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.